Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of FanCast. Today's guest is THANE SAFC. Some of you will probably know him from YouTube. Thanks very much for coming on the show, THANE.
Thanks for having me.
Excellent. No problem. You're also a regular on the fans' reactions that we do. What made you actually start getting involved with that, man? Because obviously you've got your own YouTube channel, so you don't really need to do it, but you're obviously helping me out. But why else would you want to do it?
No, it's just I see fans reacting to SAFC Fan TV as channels that Sunderland fans need to get your views across, your opinions and just different people's reactions to the games and stuff. It's what I think it's good for the the area, the Sunderland fans community and everything.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it, because I love SAFC Fan TV and watching the fans' reactions. Sometimes it's hilarious. Obviously, we're doing it from people's homes, so it's a bit more sort of less drunk, if you know what I mean. But it's still good entertainment, I think. So anyway, Thane, how long have you actually been a Sunderland fan? And if you can remember, what is your earliest memory of being a fan as well?
I didn't actually get into football until 2007.
Yeah.
But the first game that I actually watched was in 2011, where we played Liverpool at Anfield and we drew 1-1 each.
Oh, not a bad game to experience as your first one, then, really.
Yeah, it's like Seb Larson scoring the overhead kick. So.
Yeah. Then with the days at the Premier League, well and truly, it seems like a long time ago now, doesn't it? So how old were you then? So you're 2007. You must have been quite young, because you're only a young lad, aren't you?
I'm 24 now, so I think back then I think I was about 11.
Yeah. You young lad, yeah. But anyway, what do you think so far then? We've had, 4 games now in it? So we've missed one, obviously, last weekend. But what do you think about performance so far and where we are in the league?
Aside from the Bristol Rovers game, I would actually say it's been a good start. I mean, we have played 3 teams that are going to be up there. Taking 7 points against your promotion rivals is good. It's just a shame we couldn't beat Bristol Rovers, because that's the only disappointing result so far. Yeah,
big start, especially with us missing this game. That would have kept us right in the run at the top. I mean, it's not doom and gloom, obviously, but I think that I'd rather have played the game and won the game. It's the same with games in hand. We've had it before. We've had it last season where we've had games in hand, and the points is more important. I'd rather just play the games. What do you think of that? Do you think we should have been playing the games, or are you glad that we've missed it, got that game in hand?
Personally, I don't think Sunderland games in hand works. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree. What do you think of Phil Parkinson so far this season, though? Do you think is he doing a good job? Is anything you'd like to see him do differently?
I mean, I think you already know this and that, but I am a big Parky fan. I think we've got the right man that can us out of this division.
Yeah.
Because he's got the defence, although we've got defensive problems this weekend. But 3 goals good. But we just need I think as long as we keep creating chances, I do think the goals will come. But you will start to worry eventually, if we're scoring goals against the so-called lesser teams like your Swindon and your Crews and stuff.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, like you say, taking chances is a big part of it, but it is worrying for a lot of fans at the moment that none of them chances are really being, especially by the strikers, being taken away. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is with the Charlton game, I actually thought Danny Graham had a really good game. It's just a shame he just missed that sitter, that's all. If he scores that, we're up to saying Danny Graham's going to start banging the goals in and stuff. So
yeah. We've said it for all of our strikers at one point or another. He just needs that first goal he needs, and then the confidence will grow and things like that. But it never. I'm trying not to be too pessimistic, but it just seems like it's the same thing every time. You know what I mean? But yeah, hopefully you're right. Hopefully it starts happening. What do you think of the? I know everybody's getting fed up with this, but what do you think are the chances of us having a takeover done sometime this season or sometimes in the near future?
The way I see it, if a takeover was going to happen, it would have happened by now.
Yeah.
I mean, even Wigan. I mean, no disrespect them, but they've been in financial crisis administration, and even they're closer to a takeover than us. Charlton's had a takeover, but not Sunderland. It never happens. So.
Yeah, totally agree. Do you think William Story's actually got a genuine bid in, or are you one of these people that just think it's all rubbish?
It's all ifs and buts. I mean, yeah, I do think he really wants to buy the club, but I think he's just trying to get the club's attention, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you were one of the actual Sunderland fans that went out and bought the drink, didn't you? Just to prove that it does actually exist as well.
Some people still think it doesn't exist.
Yeah. I had somebody comment on a tweet, I think it was just yesterday, saying it's a shame that the drinks don't exist. So I just copied a link to the website where you can actually buy them. He's like, oh, right, shit, didn't realise. But yeah. Sorry?
It's actually a pretty nice drink as well.
Yeah, I think you said you preferred it over Red Bull. Did you say?
Yeah, I do. I think it's actually quite nice.
Yeah, I might have to try it, but I'll wait until the bid's either gone through or collapsed either way. But personally, I don't know. At first, I quite liked him. I still like what he's got to say. He seems to be saying the right things, but there's a few things he's definitely said on Twitter that made us think, Christ, it's not the sort of person you want in charge of a club if you're going to be sort of attacking fans on this before you've even getting control. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that one. Right, we've got 3 games coming up. I spoke to Jordan about this on the last FanCast. We've got Swindon next on the 17th, which is Saturday. And then we've got Crewe and, is it Portsmouth? Yeah, Crewe and Portsmouth. What do you think we should realistically be getting from them games? What do you expect? So if it's different answer, give us different answers. What do you think we'll get and what do you expect to get?
Well, as a Sunderland fan, and I think you'll agree with this, I think all Sunderland fans will agree, we should be aiming to win all 3 of them. But I would take 7 points, preferably beat Swindon and Crewe. And if you get a point against Pompey, I wouldn't complain too much. But the fact is, you should still be aiming to win the game. So
yeah, totally agree. So 7 points from the next 3, that would put us on. So what we got now?
Currently on 8 points.
8, so that would put us on 15 points from 7 games. Is that right? Yes. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. I still think we need to be, if we want to be pushing for promotion, we need to be. I know I've said this before. I'm never ever happy with a point. There has to be times when you accept a point, I suppose. But still, for me, in this league, I know we've got no God-given right, and Michael Bowers has said this loads of times, to be promoted and to beat these teams. But I think on paper, even we should be capable of beating any team in this league. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, like what was said, Matt, we should be looking to win every single game, no matter who we're playing. But when it's a promotion rival, you should be aiming to win it. But as long as you just don't lose the game as well.
Yeah, definitely. The clean sheets, which once again Michael Bowers bangs on about, it's so important to keep getting them. And I think that our back 3 has been absolutely solid. Even Flanagan, who was a bit hit and miss at times. Do you think it's Bailey Wright and Willis sort of keeping him in touch? Because I've seen them sort of shouting at him, telling him where to go. Do you think it's making a big difference? Do you think it would matter if we've got somebody else in place of Flanagan?
I mean, to be honest, I think Flanagan's had a brilliant season so far. Aside from the red card, but he took one for the team, didn't he? So
yeah, was it a red card? Would you say it was clear red?
I would actually say yeah, because Connor Washington was through and he probably would have scored. So
yeah, fair enough.
So
yeah, no problem. Well, you've been a Sunderland fan here for a while now, so you've seen us in the Premier League. Obviously, not at the height. You wouldn't have been watching it when we were finished 7th twice in a row. You would have been a bit too young then, I think. Was that right? Or can you remember that?
No.
So, but you've seen us struggle for years in the Premiership, come straight down to the Championship, straight down to the League One. What do you think has caused that? What's the big issue there?
Ownership, poor transfers, buying players on a big big price and then selling them on pretty cheap. Fraser Campbell, for example, we bought him for $3.5 million for Man U, and we sold him to Cardiff for about 500k.
Yeah,
that's a big.
Yeah, we have had some. I think Ellis Short has had some bad sort of advisors really in the past. I think that's one of the biggest things that's contributed. Yeah. I think his heart was in the right place. Like a lot of people say, he didn't intentionally just decide not to give us. Well, he did decide not to give us any money, but I think he'd given us quite a bit anyway. If you know what I mean.
Some people to run a football club. That's it.
Yeah. We need William Story.
Fun, so.
Sorry.
I still hate the law for us being in League One because I still think he could have done a little bit more, but
yeah. When you totally stop the cash altogether, it's bound to have a sort of free fall reaction, I think.
Yeah.
But there you go. There's nothing we can do about it now. We're in this league. This is our 3rd league. Do you think we're going to get out of this league this season?
3rd time lucky, so I'm going to say
yeah. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I like to say optimism. I don't like pessimism. So what's your worst memory, mate? What's your worst memory? And you can give us your best one if it's different from anything else you've said. So what's your worst memory of being a Sunderland fan?
I mean, being a Sunderland fan, there's quite a few, but I mean, get beat 8-0 off Southampton was horrible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good. And to be honest, I actually I said this to Michael Bowes before. In the Championship, when we got beat 2-0 off Brentford and that, we just got outplayed at home. And I hate saying that when we get outplayed at home, where we just sit back and we just don't do anything. I hate that.
Yeah. Yeah, and for some reason, them sort of games, they do stick out in your memory for some reason, more than the good ones sometimes, because they're just so frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally agree. Have you got what's your best moment of being a Sunderland fan?
Best moment. I know a lot of people will probably say, you know, beating Everton 3-0 and beating Chelsea 3-2, but I would actually go with when we went to the Emirates and we got that point to stop up under Dick Advocaat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good memory. We did have a few. You'll have been watching all these miracle years. I think Paolo Di Canio pulled off a miracle. Poirier didn't he? Yeah, we had some good ones, but yeah. Anyway, next question. What we got here? Who is your current and who's your all-time favourite Sunderland players?
My favourite Sunderland player right now is Bailey Wright. Absolute, he's a cut above this level. He's a championship defender all day long.
Definitely.
I think we're lucky to have him, really. But
yeah, totally agree with that.
And my favourite, all-time Sunderland player, I know you could say Kevin Phillips, but I wasn't watching Sunderland back then. So during my time, I would say Stefan Sessegnon.
Oh yes, yeah, he was a little. I think lowest centre of gravity. He was just so tricky on the ball, wasn't he?
I think he's people say Kevin Phillips, Sunderland's probably all-time great, but Stefan Sessegnon's definitely the best technically gifted player I think we've ever had, personally.
Yeah, definitely. Along with that, I used to can you remember Steve Malbronk?
Oh, Malbronk was great. I mean, he couldn't score. He used to get tons of assists.
Yeah, totally. I mean, obviously, you've got if you were around when Phillips was about getting the 30 goals, getting the Golden Boot. I mean, it's hard not to pick him. But yeah, for me as well, Jimmy and Defoe, he was just such a legend. He wasn't here a great length of time, but the things he did with the Bradley Lowry and the goals he scored, just total legend. So we have had some good players over the years, and we've had some bad ones as well. Right. Is there any other sports or any other football teams that you've got a soft spot for?
I mean, this might sound strange, right? And it's a strange reason, but my second team's actually Reading.
All right.
It's just, it was I think it was back in 2009 or 2010. It's when Reading had a good run in the FA Cup before, and I just kind of liked the way they played. They caused a few upsets and stuff, and I usually keep an eye on the results and see how they do. I'm also at the moment supporting Leeds in the Prem because some of my family, on my grandfather's side, actually comes from Leeds originally, so kind of supporting them in the Prem.
Yeah, they've done well to get back up there. Do you think they'll stay up there this season?
Yeah, I think they will. I think they've a good manager, and I think they've actually recruited well as that. And they're a Premier League club; they deserve to be there. So
yeah, definitely. How have they started off the season? To be honest with you, I don't take much notice of the Premiership when we're not in it. So
yeah, I think they've won 2, drawn 1, and lost 1 so far. So it's not a bad start.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. If we'd been promoted and started off with that, I'd be quite happy, I would think. Right, Thane. So you're a multi-billionaire. You're in charge. You've bought the club. You're in charge. What would you do?
Right now, short term, definitely get the academy sorted. Need some investment. I mean, we're happy for them, but it's pretty bad where the academy's only won the first 2 games recently in 2 years?
Yeah, it's bad.
It's been neglected badly, so I would invest in the academy. And then long term, hopefully we get promoted this season, recruit the best championship players possible, because we should be aiming to get the best players in whatever division, apart from Premier League, but Championship and League One, we should be looking to get the best players out there.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've had a problem where there's been a recruitment, or and it goes down to the old saying of the location. Do you think the club's location has an effect on attracting players?
Well, that's the thing in that. I mean, you should still feel privileged to play for Sunderland, massive club and all, but places like London, like Manchester and like the Midlands and that. There's a bit more of an attraction, really, isn't it? So,
yeah, I think even like you say, like Reading, because it's down south, obviously they've got a smaller fan base, smaller stadium. I don't know how historical they are or anything, but like as a player myself, you'd think, oh, I'd love to be with the bigger crowds and the big stadium and all that sort of stuff. But because it's warm, I don't know if it's because it's warmer down there or what, but for some reason, I think we do seem to struggle. I mean, even Newcastle struggles, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
right. So anyway, we've said prediction for. No, I'll give you that in a minute. Did you say we would be in the? When do you think we would be back in the Premiership? That's the question. Give us a prediction. 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there can't be 2. When will we be back in the top flight?
I know, like most people would normally say, like, oh, it'll be ages, but I want to try and like compare Sunderland to see if we could do a Sheffield United, because when Chris Wilder took over at Sheffield United, he took them from League One to the Premier League in the space of like 3 years. Yeah. So why can't we do that?
Yeah, definitely. I think we can. I think any club can, but like you say, we need to get the ingredients right, don't we? Like the strikers need to start striking, and I can't bang on how important that is for us to get promoted. If it doesn't happen, I think we're struggling. You can't rely on Maguire all the time or midfielders to get the goals. So yeah, we'll have to see. Do you think we're going to get any more signings in before this? What is it? Tomorrow closes, isn't it? Tomorrow night?
I think it closes tomorrow lunchtime. I think
tomorrow lunchtime. Do you think anything's going to happen, mate?
Don't think so, because I think Phil Parkinson says that don't expect any permanent deals. So I think we'll probably look at free agents once the window's shut.
Yeah, and obviously, where would you like it? Left back's an obvious one. Is there anywhere else you'd like to see?
But personally, I think centre back should be like an issue we need to solve, because Jamali's out for the rest of the season, Feeney's out for 4 months, and obviously we're missing Flanagan for Saturday. So defensive, it's going to be like a makeshift defence at least for one game. And if any if Willis and Wright get injured, we're screwed because there's no backup.
Yeah, big style. So who would you start as our defence? Would you play 4 or would you stick with 5?
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people. I know you usually say about changing the system and stuff, but we know Parky's not going to change the system. But in a back 3, I would go with McLaughlin, Wright, and Willis. Yeah,
it's a safer option, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, and also Denver Hume's a doubt for Saturday as well. So
yeah, he would definitely be a big miss, I think, if he's not playing it. Who could replace him?
Well, Lyndon Gooch has played at left wing back before, so that's an option. Our young lad, Jake Hackett in the academy, has played left wing back before, but that's a bit of a risk because he hasn't had much experience. So I have no idea what defence we're going to go with on Saturday. No idea.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he picks. But he's done well so far, so we've got to give him the benefit of the doubt, and hopefully he gets it right again for this weekend. But we'll go with some predictions then. I want all 3, so we'll start off with Swindon. What's your prediction for that?
Swindon 1, Sunderland 2.
Swindon 1, Sunderland 2. Yeah, I'll take that, definitely. You think they're going to score a goal against us, yeah?
Yeah, I'd be very shocked if we actually keep a clean sheet this game, especially with the defensive issues we've got going on at the minute. And Swindon do play nice football as well, so it won't be easy. But I think we should have enough to get past them.
Yeah, sounds good to me. What do you think about Crewe?
I haven't actually thought this far ahead.
Yeah.
I'll say a 3-0 Sunderland victory.
Yeah, that's it. Positivity, come on, I like that. And we've got Portsmouth as well.
Clash of the Titans, this one.
Yeah, it's always a bit hard of a hard one to predict, I think, this game.
Yeah, because Pompey usually have their record against us is usually quite good, but I'll be and I'll say we'll go 2-1 victory.
2-1 victory. Right, okay. Right, we'll just go with the 2. We're not going for the rest of the games, we'll forget it. But just the Swindon game, give us, you've said 2-1. Who's going to score for us?
I actually did this in my match preview. Danny Graham and Josh Gowan. Right,
there you go, everybody. 2-1, Danny Graham, Josh Gowan. Go to the bookies, put a bet on, and if you win, you have to give 3.5, yeah? Excellent. Yeah, I've done quite well with predictions this season so far. I think I predicted Not the Bristol Rovers one. I predicted Peterborough, and who did we play after that? Forgetting already. Anyway, the 2 games after that, I predicted them correctly. So I don't think I've said my prediction for Swindon anywhere online yet. So I'm going to say mine as well on here. So it's on video. I'm going to go with 2-0. I still think our defence with Bailey right there and Jordan Willis, I still think we've got enough to keep another clean sheet. So I'll go with that. And I'll go with the goal scorers as Maguire and Ledbetter. I think I'm going to go with that. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I wouldn't put a bet on that one. Stick with Thane, but we'll see what happens here. Right. One of the questions, which in fact it's always the question to ask at the end. I don't know if you've seen these yet, but who do you? I use the word hate, but I suppose that's a bit strong. Any player or manager in the league that you seriously dislike is the one that comes into your head.
Yeah, it's that little man that manages that team called Fleetwood Town, Mr. Joey Barton.
Ah, right. So that's 3-0 on the table, 3-0 to Joey Barton. I think he's going to kick ass on this league, but that's fair enough, mate. Why? What is it that you dislike about him so much, mate?
Well, first, right, I mean, forget about the whole Newcastle player and stuff, and yeah, we know he hit Sunderland, but realistically, he has done a fantastic job at Fleetwood, he really has, as a man. But it's just, he's a scumbag, and I have no idea how he's not in jail. I have no idea.
Yeah, I totally agree. And just when you listen to him talk, you just want to knock him out, don't you, really? But yeah, I totally agree. He's doing a good job at Fleetwood. And Fleetwood are, they're a decent club. They're a team I'd like to see do well. So yeah. I suppose it swings and roundabout. Right, so would you like to give everybody a little bit of information about what you currently do on YouTube, just in case they haven't seen you, what your channel's called, and what you plan on doing with the channel in the future?
Yeah, obviously the channel's FanCast SAFC, just Sunderland-related news, odd FIFA live stream now and again, match reacting when we make signings, just basically Sunderland news, reactions, player reels, match previews, things like that. Long term, the main goal at the minute is to try and get the 500 subs by Christmas.
Yeah, you'll definitely achieve that, I would think. You do a lot of content out there, and I like it. I found you actually through Michael Bowers giving you a shout out on his video. And one thing I like about Michael Bowers is he just seems to talk so much sense to me, which is what I really like about his channel. Even though some of his reactions are just after the game, they're very quick. But everything he says, most things he says, I seem to agree with. And then when I went on your channel and watched you, something very similar in the sense of how you talk about the game. You're very knowledgeable, and that's why I like your channel. So I would definitely recommend, if you haven't already subscribed to him, go over or just type into Google THANE SAFC. You'll find him on there, no doubt. But yeah, that's it basically. I appreciate you coming on the show. You'll be back again for fans' reaction after the Swindon game, I hope.
Oh yes, I'll be there.
Excellent. Was there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to give everybody a wave, or would you like to say anything?
Subscribe to Fans React. Do it now.
Excellent. Good lad. Right, that's it. I appreciate everybody who's come over, watched this. Go over, check him out. There'll be a link to his channel below in the description. If you do go over and you haven't subscribed to him already, tell them that I sent you. Just see if Fans React sent us over there. That would be fantastic. But yeah, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. You guys take care. And for now, we'll see you later.